Hey you guys, come with me to try McDonald's newest Taliban skinny protein refresher in Kabul, Afghanistan. But before that, let's have a chat with Mullah Abdul Salam Hanafi on why the Chadari is actually feminist.
A new emotion! Wow!
Yet another day where I get mad at strangers on the internet. So my dudes, going to Europe for vacation now is chopped. You heard it here first, folks. Travel influencers are now on Skyscanner looking at flights thinking to themselves, I don't really want to go to the Uffizi to see the birth of Venus. I more so want to hang out with the Taliban. These reels keep popping up on my feed of these white, and I stress white, influencers going to Afghanistan and posting about it with this "oh wow, a new emotion" audio. So we're going to dissect some of these reels because they are actually extremely problematic. Round them up, boys. The music for this is copyrighted, so I'm gonna do my best to sing it. Fuck, actually that's really bad. It's the Snoop Dogg song. That's like Jesus Christ. Okay, girl. I looked into her account as well, and she likes going to these less traveled places and absolutely makes sure to do it in the most arrogant and insensitive way, of course. Like, I found this video of her in North Korea asking North Koreans where they would like to travel if they could.
What countries do you want to visit?
Russia.
Russia. Okay. You can, I can give you my number, and you can come and visit us in Russia. Yeah? Okay. Deal.
We actually asked a lot of people which countries they would like to visit, and more often than not you hear Russia and China. But surprisingly, Switzerland comes up too. We're not entirely sure why, but we're guessing it might have something to do with Kim Jong-un studying there.
Give me your number and you can visit us in Russia. Girl, she can't. She literally can't come to Russia. She can't leave the country legally. And being a travel influencer and just going up to this random girl with a camera, asking her, "Oh, where would you like to travel if you could? Russia? You want to go to Russia? Well, maybe you can give me your number and you can come to Russia and visit me," is so tone deaf and insensitive. But let's go back to Afghanistan. Ah yes, the aesthetic of Afghanistan, the Taliban. You need to be slapped. So many of these guys show themselves posing with guns in their travel photos, which really shows the image of Afghanistan that they're trying to shape. Like, it's not about the culture or the destigmatization of the Middle East. It's about feeding into that stigma and the pain of the people in Afghanistan becoming an aesthetic for you to aura farm with. Look at me being so cool and brave, hanging out in this country where men carry guns and there are abandoned tanks in the street. Girl, fuck you. People actually have to live there. Women have to live there and be oppressed their entire lives. This is not an aesthetic for you to get views and likes with on Instagram. His caption also says, "side questing hard." And that's the problem. You're going, "Oh, look at me being so random traveling to Afghanistan," when Afghanistan is a reality for the millions of people living there.
The chopper, that's the rat trap. Find them in that trash bag off the interstate.
Really? Really? You didn't feel like getting pickpocketed in Spain, so you went to Afghanistan instead. A country in which women cannot go outside on their own. In the caption of the reel, she says, "Before some of y'all get mad and crazy in the comments, I actually came here to help local NGOs and women in need who do not have the connections to outsiders and are struggling to survive, but want to bring awareness to the ongoing crisis happening in Afghanistan. Also, as ironic as it may sound, I did feel safer in terms of pickpocketing. Sadly, Spain has has a serious pickpocketing issue, and even though it's an amazing country, it ranks low in safety in terms of pickpocketing. I'm not saying it is safe though, it's just a trend, so please try not to cry about it in the comments too much. And if you can please help and uplift Afghan women, they need our help and solidarity more than ever. I mean, that's good, but just don't post rage bait on Instagram. You know what you're doing with this. You know you're wrong and you sound ridiculous, and that Spain is safer than Afghanistan, and you're clearly doing this to get engagement. Comparing Spain to Afghanistan is like comparing apples to oranges. Before you guys engage with the rage bait I intentionally posted, please read the caption about how I'm actually a good person. Well, okay, just post about being a good person then. Don't rage bait. The next one really pissed me off because it is a guy literally trying to banter with the Taliban.
There goes the Taliban, they're swallowing. I want to join them. Can you ask them if I could go with them?
Yeah, with the Taliban?
Should I? Is that fine? No?
Because they don't like other people like me.
Look how gangster that is. I kind of want a picture with the Talib.
Let me ask them.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum, sir. We don't do arms? Okay, I guess we don't do arms. Get in close. In close, like we're friends.
Oh, it's so funny to take a picture with the Taliban. Bro, fuck you. They don't do arms, but we still did arms. It's so clear that you don't actually see them as humans with their own self-agency, which is why you're not actually realizing consciously how dangerous and awful they are as people, and how this is not funny at all, and you just look like an idiot. Speaking of idiots...
What happens if I enter a house? Like, they'll
beat your ass.
They'll beat my ass?
Yeah, they'll beat your ass first.
Green tea. First they'll give you green tea, and then after they'll beat your ass.
Okay, okay.
Well, which one comes first, green tea or the ass whooping?
No, ass whooping.
This guy's got a door, but then you can just climb into his house. Oh, there's actually a house here. I just entered someone's house. They probably thought I'm a thief or something.
If an American tourist opened the gate to my house, I would have crashed out. And before anybody says, oh, he's actually Lebanese, he just grew up in America, only a true-blooded American would be this annoying in a foreign country. He is expressing true American patriotism here with the obnoxious behavior that he is exhibiting. This is clearly a residence, and you have not been to Afghanistan for literally 30 seconds. You have gone around and seen that people do live in these buildings. Like, even if you're fully rich and arrogant and don't understand that people can live in buildings like this, you can probably assess from the pattern-seeking behavior we're equipped with to understand that, oh wait, I've seen people actually live in these things for the past, like, I don't know, day that I've been in Afghanistan, so maybe I shouldn't actually go opening random doors. But you just decided to be obnoxious and annoying. On top of that, this is incredibly stupid because you don't know whose property you're trespassing on. Guns are not an exclusively American thing. About 2 years ago, 2 hunters accidentally trespassed on my father's farm, and my father's response was to come out of his farm with a shotgun and start shooting at them. Now, I of course don't condone this, and I very obviously do not speak to my father whatsoever, but this is to show that you don't know whose property you're trespassing on. And even if danger is not a factor in the thing that you're doing, you still need to remain respectful no matter what. Also, his Instagram handle is Arab, which I find so funny. Only a person of the diaspora would make Arab their Instagram handle. This reminds me of this artist called Greek, who is from the state of Virginia. Okay, on to the next. Notice how everybody in this video is a man? Because it is actually not a safe place for girls. Exactly. So I came across a reel of this woman that traveled to Afghanistan, and she is basically defending the right to travel to Afghanistan and that it's okay to travel to Afghanistan. And I want to show it because she has some valid points, and I want to compare that to the influencers that I have been showcasing so far.
You shouldn't travel to Afghanistan because the women are oppressed. So firstly, women absolutely are oppressed in Afghanistan. They can't go to school over the age of 12. They can't go to local parks. They can't go to beauty salons for women. They can't go to female-only gyms. They can only work in basic service sector jobs like restaurants. Women can't see male doctors. for certain conditions. Absolutely, they are oppressed, and it is an absolute mess. Does that mean you shouldn't go? The answer is absolutely not. To not go means that last week I wouldn't have sat opposite a young lady who was year 4 medical student. She now teaches women to sew. She looked me in the eyes and she said, "We feel totally forgotten by the international community." I wouldn't have met young families where the husband has died and they have no male relative and they are unable to put food on the table. I wouldn't have been able to go to a women's market in Bamyan and hear the stories of how their trade is dropping because of the Iran war. I wouldn't have been able to buy things from them that are handmade that support women in their villages. But the biggest question to ask yourself is this. You don't want to go to Afghanistan and discover the people that have nothing to do with their unelected regime. You don't want to go and share their culture. You don't want to go and celebrate the beauty that is in Afghanistan because you don't like the unelected regime. And yet, you will likely board a plane to a country that right now is causing many wars around the world and is responsible for killing tens of thousands of women. That's okay because that's on somebody else's soil. When you judge a country based on a regime, you lose all sight of culture, you lose the ability to share stories, you lose the ability to hear firsthand what is going on, and you forget the essence of what that country really stands for.
Travel influencers don't go to Afghanistan for these reasons. They don't highlight the struggles of the women that live there. They don't actually seem to care about the culture itself or about supporting women in Afghanistan. They care about sensationalizing this image of Afghanistan, that it is a dangerous place full of the Taliban carrying guns and that they're being so cool and edgy by hanging out with these men. They don't have any regard for the actual people there that are suffering. And even if they did have a little bit of regard for that, the content that they're showing on Instagram undoes all of that. But for now, let's go back to a couple more stupid influencers. I am not getting copyrighted today. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking and you're saying... I feel like if I express what I'm actually thinking right now about this guy, I would get banned from YouTube. I don't even know what to say about this. It pisses me off so much. To make a reel about breaking bread with the Taliban and people thinking you're badass for it or thinking that it's so random. Guys, the Taliban is real and they are oppressing women in Afghanistan actively and interacting with them, making the sensation out of them. It takes weight away from the actual situation, which is a very heavy and serious situation. And I don't know if you have seen it on the news, but the Taliban has been invited to Brussels. So whilst women are suffering in Afghanistan, the Taliban is drinking tea with EU officials in Belgium. There is also this tone-deaf reel. Girl, it's not a costume for you to try on. This garment represents the inhumane oppression of Afghan women. Please have some respect. Like, at least if you're gonna post this, make a point about how this is actually really bad and you're trying to bring awareness. But I don't see that being showcased, which is why I just find it so tone-deaf. There's also this reel of these two girls going to Iraq.
A new emotion! Wow!
Girl, not the building falling down in your video. We know what you're trying to do. We know that you're trying to aura farm again with Iraq. This is not acceptable. The results of war is not an accessory to your Instagram feed. The oppression of women is also not an accessory to your Instagram feed. Like, it really is not that hard to understand. What you're displaying right now is a huge ego with zero empathy for the people around you. What you're displaying is a certain dehumanization of the people of the country that you are traveling to. It is arrogant, it is stupid, it is tone deaf. You're able to go to these countries and make a couple of reels for your Instagram because you have the privilege to. For many people, this is their everyday reality. For you, it is a random side quest. And with the way that these videos are filmed and edited and the music that is put in the background, the message that they are sending is very clear. What they are basically saying is, look at me going to this nasty, dirty, third world country that is dangerous, full of men carrying guns. Look at how brave and unhinged and chaotic I am, going to this rubble of a country. I'm so different for being able to find enjoyment in engaging in this culture. This is the image that they're trying to shape of Afghanistan. They are not trying to bring awareness. They are trying to get views. They don't recognize it as an actual reality for billions of people. They see it more as an idea, a side quest. The people that actually live in Afghanistan are just NPCs that they get to interact with for the fun of the game. So I don't know if you remember this girl. Her name is Malala. You know, the Pakistani education activist that got shot because she was just trying to get educated. She also posted a video about the Taliban being invited to Brussels.
So the EU has invited Taliban officials to Brussels to discuss a migration deal. And I am shaken and deeply disturbed by this. Because it is the same Taliban that banned girls from secondary schools and forced them into marriage. The same Taliban that earlier this month arrested dozens of women in Herat for how they were dressed. The same Taliban that detains, beats and executes women who dare to speak out or break their rules. Through its system of gender apartheid, the Taliban have erased women and girls from public life. Europe must not legitimize a regime responsible for one of the worst human rights crises in the world. Any engagement with the Taliban must begin and end with the rights of Afghan women and girls.
Period, Malala. This isn't even glamorization. They're not glamorizing Afghanistan. They are instead glamorizing themselves for being able to travel to a country with this dangerous image. Seeing these reels get recommended on my feed of people basically giving this image of Afghanistan and using it to aura farm and breaking bread with the fucking Taliban, and then seeing that the Taliban has been invited to Brussels, it is very concerning. Seeing the EU rise to fascism day by day, it only makes sense that they've grown more tolerant to the Taliban, and it also makes sense that these travel influencers from the West are also growing more tolerant towards the Taliban and see it as an okay source of content creation. I swear to God, if Instagram existed in the 1940s, travel influencers would be going to Germany and having schnitzel with Nazi soldiers. Like, this is how tone deaf we're being. The gradual tolerance of fascism is silent, and people don't tend to notice it. We think to ourselves that if it's happened in the past, there's no way we're gonna be fooled in the future. But history is a cycle, and again, we fall victims to fascism. We get indoctrinated into it, and we tolerate it more and more. But the way it is happening nowadays with Instagram, TikTok, and influencers is even more stupid and mind-boggling. Anyway, if you do want to go to Afghanistan to actually help the women that are being oppressed there day by day, then be my guest. That is absolutely acceptable to do, and more people like this are needed. But if you're a travel influencer looking to make brain rot content that people can watch while they doom scroll for hours in bed and drool is slipping out of their mouth, then maybe you should stick to Italy instead. That is all I have to talk about today. If you don't know me, which you probably don't, my name is Kara. I just started this YouTube channel and this is my second video on here. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe. You can also go watch my first video, which was on ADHD influencers. People said that they liked it, so maybe you will as well. Next time, I think I'm gonna try to make something a bit more positive instead of me crashing out on camera, but I digress. Thank you for watching, and bye bye!